Hello, everyone, and we're going to be talking about on today's show the Lakers' hiring of a new head coach, D'Antoni. Was that a right move for the Lakers, or was that not a right move to pass up Phil Jackson to hire D'Antoni? Also, we'll be talking about this college phenom from Grinnell College, a Division III school. Check this out, y'all. He scored 138 points in a game. That's right, you heard me. 138 points. We will get more about that story as well as how Kobe reacted to that whole scenario of things. Also, we're going to turn over to boxing where Hector Camacho was found shot with a gunshot wound to the face in his hometown of Puerto Rico. We'll talk a little bit more about that and get more in depth about that. Also, we'll be talking about the little Pee Wee football phenom, Samantha. Is she one of the greatest football players that we ever seen at any level? We'll talk a little bit more about that along the way and show some video highlights of that. And we'll be talking about the Major League Baseball awards as well. You're listening to The Scoop. Let's roll.
Three wide receivers out to the right. Moody flush. Throws it down.
Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Uses it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson. He's got something. He's got something. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. End zone. Touchdown. Right. There are no flags on the field.
There's a long ball. Way back. It is. Everybody's waving their arms. It's into Kareem. Kareem swing left, right hand, 12-footer. The pictures tell the word. They love their captain. They love their leader. And suffice to say, ladies and gentlemen, the new king of scoring has ascended his throne.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of The Scoop. I'm your host, Sean Harris. Everybody wants to know why. It appears that Phil Jackson did not get the job as the Lakers' next head coach. Everybody was eyeing on that, but it never happened. I'm just mind-boggled with that, and it seems to amaze me about the whole idea of what's going on in Los Angeles. It's preposterous. It's crazy. But it is what it is, and I simply cannot understand the situation with Jim Buss. What is it really that he has against Phil or wanting to hire Phil Jackson? Mike D'Antoni has become the new head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, and he was shocked more than anybody. I'm quite sure he was shocked more than you that he got the position. Not expecting to be the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. But they hired him. We don't know what to expect. He'll be coaching real soon. Here's D'Antoni in regards to speaking about what he has to say about the whole scenario and what he plans to do with the Los Angeles Lakers.
And I didn't hear the other stuff, so I don't know what we're referring to. But, Magic is a big, when you think of the Lakers, you think of him. And I've reached out to him, and I will reach out to him. And we would love to be able to play Showtime-type basketball. Now, they might have done it the best that you can do it. We would like to get someplace close to that, and I think that would be awesome. But that's the type of basketball, so no better person to talk to and pick his brain and see where we're going than him. It's basketball, and it's I've coached Steve. I know how much fun that is, so I know how much fun I'm going to have. I've coached Kobe. I've coached Dwight. I know the possibilities that we have. It's endless, and there's always the we have to win. We don't win, come close is not good enough. That's almost in every organization. Your expectations are something, and most of the time you don't want to be in a situation where your expectations are too high and you cannot get them up there. But that's not the case here. Our expectations are to win a championship. We have the team and players to do that, and we all know it's going to take everybody staying healthy, and it takes this, it takes that. But boy, is this fun trying. I mean, I can't think of a better group and a better city and a better fan base and try to get it done.
So far, things looking pretty good in L.A., but not too promising because, let's face it. The guy do not have any defensive coaching at all. He's all about run, scoring over 120 point plus a game. And sometimes that's just not going to get it done. You got to have defense as well to go along with the offense. There's been times where the Lakers had games where they should have won and they lost anyway, especially close games during his tenure there in L.A. But I feel that, you got to have more defense.
A little-known basketballer has created world headlines for shattering the record for the most number of points in a US college game. He scored 138 points. That's a shot every 20 seconds. Even the game's biggest stars are in awe.
Jack Taylor's shots weren't fancy, just frequent. In a 40-minute game, the sophomore point guard from Division III Grinnell College scored an NCAA record 138 points.
I can't really put it in words. I was just in the zone.
Taylor took the equivalent of one shot every 20 seconds. Compare that to the late Wilt Chamberlain, who shot every 46 seconds when he set the NBA record 100 points in 1962.
I hit 7 or 8 threes in a row, and that's when I knew something special was starting to go.
Unlike the 7-foot Chamberlain, the 5'10 Taylor scored mostly by pulling up for jump shots over one and sometimes three guys. There is some backlash about ball hogging, but Grinnell coaches are defending Taylor.
I'm trying to manage my team. I'm concerned about the opponent. I'm not here to embarrass anybody.
NBA players praised the record-breaking performance. For the record, the Grinnell Pioneers won the game 179-104, but you'll have to forgive the folks that only remember one number, and that's 138.
Let's break down Jack Taylor by the numbers. 5. That's the number of records that he has set during this game. 79% was
a percentage that he had shot in attempts more than anybody on the team combined. The number 20. Out of 345 D1 teams, none has yet to score 138 points, and he did that in this game all by himself. He is averaging 23.5 per game. After tonight, his game total has skyrocketed to 61.7 per game. That's an average of 38 points per game. 218. There was not one D1 team out of 218 that has not made at least 71 three-point field goals this season, and he has done that in this single game. Shocking, or was it luck? We don't know, but we know he had a great game that night. And the one person that was more surprised than anybody than Jack Taylor was Kobe Bryant. Let's hear what he got to say in front of the media when they talked about Zach Taylor's performance in that game.
Kobe Bryant was stunned to hear the record-breaking exploits of college basketball player Jack Taylor on Tuesday night. The Grinnell College Pioneers star scored 138 points against Faith Baptist Bible College in a game which the Pioneers won 179-104.
A college kid scored 138 points tonight, took over 100 shots.
Wow, no kidding. From where? Grinnell
College in Iowa.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. That's crazy, man. I don't care what level you're at. Scoring 138 points is pretty insane. How many threes did you shoot?
27 of 71.
Oh. How many points did they score as a team?
179.
What?
No other starter had double figures.
That's incredible.
He shot
the other team had 71. Like, you think you'd be pretty happy
really?
With 71, yeah.
He actually shot under 50%. I think it was 52 for 108.
That's amazing. He must have been wearing the Mambas, man. That's only Mambas have no conscience to shoot the ball.
Turning over to boxing, we have just heard word that Hector Macho Camacho has been shot near his hometown in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We don't know the extent of the situation or the severity of his injuries. This is a shocking news to everyone in the boxing world, including us here at The Scoop. Once again, breaking news, Hector Macho Camacho has been shot near his hometown of San Juan, Puerto Rico. He was 79, 6-3. He last fought in 2010. With more of this story, we will turn to the reporters of CNN.
Ever the showman during his days in the ring, Hector Macho Camacho fought until 2 years ago. During his 30-year career, the former lightweight champion was known just as much for his flamboyance as he was his quick hands and feet. The Puerto Rican, who grew up in Spanish Harlem, awed fans and had notable battles with some of the best boxers in history, defeating Roberto Duran twice and knocking out boxing legend Sugar Ray Leonard. But it was his battles with the law and drug addiction that continued after his boxing career ended. In 2011, he was shot by carjackers but not seriously injured. This week, the southpaw was shot in the face and severely injured while sitting in a car outside of a bar in Bayamón, Puerto Rico. The boxer's childhood friend was killed in the shooting. Camacho was pronounced clinically brain dead.
This is a shocking news to everyone in the boxing world, including us here at The Scoop. Once again, breaking news, Hector Macho Camacho has been shot near his hometown of San Juan, Puerto Rico. He was 79, 6-3. He last fought in 2010. When we come back, we will turn back to football. This time it will be the Pee Wee phenom Samantha Gordon. What did she do, deservingly so, to earn her this recognition? And also, we will go back to the NBA and we will hear about Kobe and Steve Nash's reaction to Mike D'Antoni being hired as new Lakers coach. You're listening to The Scoop.
welcome back. This segment of the show is brought to you by Tally's Market. Tally's Market, everything you need for parties and occasions all up under one roof. So go down there and see Happy in the Game at Tally's today.
Jay Farrell.
Hello and welcome back. When you think about football, you think about some of the biggest names in the business, from the collegiate level all the way up to the pros. We're talking Doug Flutie, Drew Bledsoe, Johnny Unitas, Dick Butkus, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Steve Young, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, Joe Theismann. The list goes on and on and on. You get it. You know what I'm talking about when you talk about the biggest names of both sides. But this story here is about a young girl who's playing in Pee Wee Pop Warner football, and her name is Samantha Gordon. She set all type of records. She got Heisman Trophy-like numbers playing in Pop Warner football. She sat down with Hannah Storm on Good Morning America to discuss her future, and was congratulated by having her name and her likeness of a picture, the first ever female football player in any level to be on the Wheaties box. Here's Good Morning America.
Of a Wheaties cereal box. It was unveiled on Good Morning America. Sam was on SportsCenter earlier today with Hannah Storm and talked about how she got into football.
I usually play soccer for a team called USA Utah Soccer Alliance.
But after practices, I would go and pick up my brother Max, and I would do the speed drills with them. And most of the times, I would beat most of the members on their team. And so I thought, hey, maybe I could play too. And then I tried out, and I made it on the team.
So do you play with all boys?
Yes, it's an all-boy team, but there's a girl. There's been teams that we go against that have girls on their team, but they're only like defensive players.
Do the boys tease you at all being a girl when you score on them and tackle them and things like that?
No, I don't think they tease me at all. I think sometimes they might get a little embarrassed, though.
I bet. What's the most fun part for you playing football, Sam?
Being the girl out there and to be scoring on the boys and the boys to be like, dang it, I just got beat by a girl.
That's so awesome. What's your nickname?
For soccer, Mighty Mouse and Firecracker, and for football, it's Sweet Feet.
Sweet Feet? How'd you get that name?
Because I can, like, stop and go and, like, juke, and I'm really fast.
And what do you think of being on a Wheaties box?
I think it's really great because my mom, she told me, like, this is a real, like, athletic breakfast and only, like, real athletes get on it. And, like, Michael Jordan was on it for a long time. And so I'm really proud to be on the Wheaties box.
And you're the first ever female football player on a Wheaties box. Do you ever think about being a good example and maybe inspiring other girls to go out and play football?
Yeah, another one of my goals was I wanted to see, like, how much of the girls I wanted to prove girls can play. It's not just a boy sport.
Do you think girls should be allowed to play in the NFL?
I think they should, but a lot of girls, I don't know if they would try out, but I think they should be able to.
Do you want to keep playing football for a long time, like maybe even in high school?
I think I'm going to play for 2 more years and then play soccer for the rest. But I don't know. I might go on for football for a few more years, more than 2.
Now, who's your favorite team?
For college, BYU, and then for NFL, Green Bay and 49ers.
Now, what was your experience with the 49ers?
I got to go to their practice, and it was really fun. I got a ball signed by most of them. We got to go out to lunch with them. It was really great. And then I got to go to their game, and they beat the Chicago Bears. It was a blowout. And I got to go onto the field, and I just kind of ran onto it and waved around, and then I flew to New York.
It sure was a blowout, and there was this guy, Colin Kaepernick, who a lot of people hadn't heard from, their quarterback. He did a pretty good job. What did you think of him?
I haven't really heard about their quarterbacks, but my mom told me that their real quarterback had a concussion, and so a lot of people were thinking, oh no, because they had their backup quarterback in, but he did really good. So
yeah, he did a great job, and now they have a tough decision to make. Now, what is your favorite sport? Is football your favorite sport?
No, soccer is.
Soccer, really? Are you going to get a chance now that you are a star, you're on Good Morning America, you're on the internet, are you going to get a chance to meet any soccer stars?
Yeah, Abby Wambach tweeted me, and she said, hey, you can come to one of our, like, games or practices. So, I think my dad and I are going to fly out to Phoenix soon, or I don't know when, and we're going to go to their practices and go to one of their games.
Now, what do all your classmates think of everything that's happening?
Well, right now I'm off track, so I don't really know what they're thinking about this, but the very first time I was on Good Morning America, they thought it was really cool. Like, I had some of my friends that were like, Sam, you were on national television.
That was Samantha Gordon, Pop Warner football player. Way to go, girl. Keep doing your thing. We like to see the highlights. Going back to the NBA now. Top of the story that we was talking about in the show was Mike D'Antoni's hiring by the Los Angeles Lakers. We have reactions from Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash in regards to D'Antoni being hired as a Lakers coach. Here's Steve Nash, and then we'll follow up with Kobe Bryant.
If you were the coach, seamless and terrific for me, and I think the team as well. But these are things that will be decided pretty soon. So there's not much point speculating.
Mitch was saying earlier that there's a possibility, at least, that through this process that he would touch base with some of the veterans. If that happens for your case, will just be your overall feedback.
I mean, it's obviously would be private, but I'm here to answer any questions he has. I mean, I think the bottom line is Mitch, I'm sure, knows a lot about the candidates anyway. So
right.
I think he can make a great decision with or without my input. Obviously, you have to collaborate when needed.
What do you think of the triangle offense? That's something you've obviously played against, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can say about it is that's won a lot of championships. So hard to argue with that.
You were willing to try the Princeton, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it makes a lot of sense in principle. I think it's also, while I think most people would look at myself and those offenses and say not a good fit, I look at it as what a great opportunity for me to try something new at a different stage of my career. So, but the Princeton, the Triangles had such a success rate. It'll be interesting to take part in it.
And in fairness, too, I mean, there is chances to run pick and roll within that system.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's basketball is still basketball. Offensive side, the idea is still to put pressure on the defense and create scoring opportunities on one end of the court. So, I think that that's something that I've had a lot of success at in my career, and whatever offense it is, I think I can find it in my shape.
On the Olympic Games, the interaction you had with him?
I mean, we have a great relationship. I mean, it's the offense that he installed for our USA team is the offense that we've run, to the tune of 2 gold medals. We all know the type of talent that we had on that team, so it was important for us to have an offense that was flexible, that was open, that kept everybody involved, and it worked pretty well for us.
That was Steve Nash and Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles Lakers expressing their reaction to Mike D'Antoni being hired as the Lakers head coach. We're going to turn now to Tim Legler, ESPN NBA analyst, and he's going to break it down on how the Lakers can get back on winning ways with D'Antoni as head coach. Here's Tim Legler.
The main guy that he's looking at to run that system to get you 115 isn't playing right now.
Sure.
Okay, Steve Nash, when he comes back, this offense will have a completely different look. It's of urgency up the floor. Dwight Howard running the floor to get to the front of the rim, a lot like Amari Stoudemire did back in the Phoenix days when D'Antoni was running this system. 2 wings running to the three-point line, very similar to what Phoenix did. The 4 trailing the play. You saw that a lot out of Pau Gasol in that top of the key area, receiving a pass. That's exactly what Channing Frye and Sean Marion used to do. So the parts are there. The system's getting put in place is due to the fact that this is an older roster than when Mike D'Antoni coached in Phoenix. But having said all of that, you can't even begin to pass judgment on what this is going to look like until Steve Nash has the ball in his hands, because Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash have such a great relationship, and they're connected at the hip in terms of how they want to run this. You can't judge this team. Steve Nash facilitates the game for everybody on the floor. The ball's going to move a lot better for 48 minutes when he's playing. So let's wait and see when he gets back what this is going to look like.
That was Tim Legler, NBA ESPN analyst, breaking it down, telling us how the Lakers can get right back on the winning track to get where they need to be, and that is to win the NBA title. But the bottom line is this, folks. I just got to say this before we head to the break, is that with D'Antoni being the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, who team really is it going to be? Is it going to be Kobe's team, or is it going to be Steve Nash's team? We will find out during the season progresses and as the season moves on. When we come back to the scoop, we're going to be talking about Major League Baseball. The awards are in. You're going to hear who won the Silver Slugger as well as the Gold Glove. And you're going to find something interesting about Derek Jeter on winning the Gold Glove. That's if he should have won the Gold Glove again this season in regards to the money that he made off of it. You're listening to The Scoop. We'll be right back. This segment of The Scoop is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, America's largest 4G network. MLB awards are in for the American League and the National League. Starting with the American League, at third base, Detroit Tiger Miguel Cabrera. At first base, Detroit Tiger Prince Fielder. At shortstop, New York Yankee captain Derek Jeter. Another New York Yankee, second baseman Robinson Cano. Outfielder from the Los Angeles Angels, Mike Trout. I told you guys, this guy was phenomenal. I love the way he played. He had a great season. Outfielder from Texas, Josh Hamilton, who is the number one eye that everybody is going to be looking out at this year's Major League Baseball winter meetings. Minnesota, Josh Willingham. Catcher from Chicago White Sox, A.J. Pierzynski, and D.H. Billy Butler from the Kansas City Royals, who hosted the All-Star Game, and he did a phenomenal job as an ambassador for the city of Kansas City. In the National League, we turn to shortstop Ian Desmond from the Nationals, catcher Adam LaRoche, who is also in trade talks. Cincinnati might be looking at him. We won't know until we get to the Major League Baseball winter meetings. From the Nationals, third baseman Chase Headley from San Diego, outfielder McCutchen from Pittsburgh, Cincinnati's outfielder Jay Bruce, Milwaukee's Ryan Braun, who is also in trade rumors and talks this baseball winter meeting season, as well as the catcher from the world champion San Francisco Giants, Buster Posey, second baseman from Arizona, Aaron Hill, and also from the Washington Nationals, the pitcher, that's right, Steven Strasburg. I knew that guy can hit, and he did a phenomenal job this season. Just as a quick note before we close out the show, Derek Jeter took $1.5 million for the award of the Gold Glove, which, by the way, is his third. That's more than combined salaries of Buster Posey, the catcher of the San Francisco Giants, world champions, as well as Mike Trout of the LA Angels. And what Miguel Cabrera got for being the Triple Crown winner and winning the MVP, only $800,000. That is really, really crazy. Well, that's all we have for today's show. I would like to thank my sponsors here in the West Michigan area for making this show a success. Thank you very much. Also, I would like to send another thank you out to Tally's Market. Tally's Market, everything you need for parties and occasions all up under one roof. Thanks a lot, Happy. Also, I would like to give a very special thank you to you, the listener, for tuning in, because without you, this show could not be possible. If you'd like to send any comments or emails or things of that nature, my information is right there on the screen. Feel free. I'd like to hear from you. Let me know how the show is doing. Let me know if the show is doing great. Let me know if the show is not doing so great. And once again, I would like to thank you for tuning into The Scoop, where right here we bring the scoop, the whole scoop, and nothing but the scoop. I'm Sean Harris. Take care, and I'll see you next time.